Well, with the fuel tank on, I can start assembling the other parts of this thing. I pulled out the side panels and I put up this right-hand side panel in the baggage compartment here, the Kydex panel, and then I started to put the trim pieces in that I had for the floor. And I found that I had some leaks of poly brush on the floor here, some spots and streaks on it. Of course, that took some MEK to clean that up, and then that dulled the floor up. The finish on the floor was polyfiber varnish. So I had to mix up some more polyfiber varnish and put another coat on the floorboards here. And of course you can't just mix up just a little bit. Even though I did just mix up a little bit, it's still more than enough to do this. So I went ahead and washed a portion of the aft baggage compartment back to where the tie down rings are. They're the first row of hold down screws back there, about a 1.5 foot back in the aft baggage compartment. And then I did the floorboards underneath the passenger feet section, the middle section, and the front section. I just put another coat of varnish on each one of those. And then of course that took 6 hours for it to dry before I could do anything with it. So now I can start assembling everything again. A lot of this stuff has been 2 years since I built it and put it all together. So it's going to be like trying to put a jigsaw puzzle back together. And it was a lot easier to do all of this before I put the fabric on it, because I could reach through all the places and had easy access to it. I'm leaving the windows out and the baggage compartment door off now so I can get access to everything a little bit easier. I thought I was going to have to wait to put the baggage compartment together. With the change of this tie downs for the seat belts for the front seat, I was sent my seat belts in to get them re-webbed, and of course the back seat's a little bit wider than the standard fuselage too, so I was going to have those lengthened out a little bit too. Well, my mechanic had some places there to send everything to get it done, and they all quit doing re-webbing, so they wound up sending it to the factory, which was AmSafe, and AmSafe said they couldn't re-web those, a little bit of rust on the fittings and stuff, the connectors, so they wouldn't redo them. They had to get new ones, and we went around and around with them for 4 months on getting the new ones made, and they acted like they really didn't want to do business with us, probably not on an individual basis. So I finally got fed up with dealing with them, and I called Hooker Harness. Above Alaska Aviation built the airplane for the 2016, 2017, and 2018 raffle giveaway for the Alaska Airmen's Association. Anyway, they put the Hooker harnesses in the 2018 Cub that they built for them. I was hoping they would have the number off of those to use just to make me up some, since it was the same airframe. But they wanted to custom build everything. They say everything's different on every Super Cub, which is probably true. So they sent me a form to fill out to get the right sizes for everything, to measure it. Well, the airplane was all masked off for painting. When we finally got the plane unmasked and ready to start doing some measurements, I called to get some clarification on how to do the measurements, and of course nobody in the aviation was there. They were all at Oshkosh. I sent them an email with my questions, and nobody ever got back to me, and it's been 2 weeks now since I sent them the information, and even Oshkosh is over. I still haven't heard anything back from him. So I just called Cub Crafters, and they had what I needed in stock for the front seat, and I'll just put the old ones back in the back seat. I had taken out the shoulder harness in the back seat area, figuring I'd do a new one, and I took it out of there so it wasn't flopping around while we were doing the painting, and I was afraid that it would tear up the masking and stuff and let overspray get into the inside of the airplane somewhere if I left it in there. Well, since I put the old one back in, I can just put it in, and I can go ahead and put the baggage compartment all together. We'll get started back on that. Well, this is where I left off here last night. This is a trim piece that goes in here that holds the baggage compartment floor down and keeps anything from leaking in between the baggage compartment floor and the sidewalls and going down in the belly, and anything from hanging up in there. So I can get that screwed in now. And I've got trim pieces that go, a trim piece that goes here on this. I've got the underseat baggage compartment, the underseat storage compartment put in, and I can put the trim piece on it. And before I put the side pieces in here in the on the right side underneath the door, and on the left side over there, the long piece, I'm going to have to install the pulleys for the aileron cables and run those aileron cables out Anyway, we better get to work and get things done here.